I didn't tell no one, but I prepared my mom. Every time I would go back home, hey, I have something, you can deposit this. So
Okay.
like, I'm like, no. She would still know that I'm doing engineering, but then she would have a concept that I'm doing something else. She later on understood that I do two things. I do engineering and Forex.
Today with me, I have a trader who has been trading for the past 5 years. She has built businesses. She's an entrepreneur too.
My name is Blessed Atuhere. I've been trading for 5 years.
What inspired you to come into trading?
I used to do engineering. After studying, it was a bit hard looking for jobs. I was hanging around some people and they were talking about Forex can change your life. And since I was struggling with jobs, I was like, let me give this a try.
What was going through your mind? Engineering and Forex trading, what was happening there?
I would do engineering, but you know, if you're just starting out, especially if you've done like a very strong course like medicine, engineering, you have big dreams. Then when you start working and realize that these guys actually devalue you, like they don't really give you exactly what you're worth. As I was trading, I realized that there is something that actually gives me exactly what I'm looking for, even in this field.
What do you say about mentorship? Do you think it's okay for us to mentor people out there?
It took me 2.5 years to understand everything. As I said, I used to read this thing for 6 months. I'd already put it together. If I had someone to literally guide me, someone who was a pro, what took me 6 months could have taken me 3 months.
What was the biggest amount of money you made in a full month? How long does it take to be profitable when it comes to Forex trading? That is a very, very common question because I've seen a lot of people saying it takes you 5 years, 3 years, or even sometimes 10 years. I've interacted with traders. Some have made it in 6 months, and it sounds as if it is funny. Some are still struggling even after 2 or 3 years. And in today's video, we are going to find out. You as a struggling trader, you who is out there blaming time, that is the reason why you're not actually profitable, maybe it could be something else. Today with me, I have a trader who has been trading for the past 5 years. And when I talk about 5 years, I'm talking about struggles, I'm talking about blowing accounts, I'm talking about feeling like giving up to this business, but guess what? They stayed in and they are living the dreams that everyone would live. Remember, we normally say everyone wants to live the American dream. But remember, we are in Africa. How can you transfer the American dream to Africa? And Forex trading is the answer. I have a female trader. I think you guys can understand. When it comes to trading, we've been seeing a lot of men around the business. But today, I have a female trader who is doing exactly or sometimes even better than the men that we see on social media. She has been milking the market for the past 5 years. She has built consistency. She has built discipline. Through her knowledge, she has helped many traders out there. She's a mentor and she's growing other people out there. And trust me, remember, we learn from people's experiences. Whatever she says, make sure you listen. If you want to be like her, that is the only thing you're supposed to do. We don't learn from failures. We don't learn from people who have failed. We actually learn from people who are actually making it. Through her knowledge, she has built a network I will not mention. She will talk about it herself. She has built businesses, and guess what? She's an entrepreneur too. She has built products that every person would wish to do, but in a very short period of time. I remember when I was starting trading, they told me it's going to take me 10 years or 20 years to be a good trader. But guess what? After understanding how everything is done, I managed to scale down to 2 to 3 years, and I've done things that people have not done in 10 or even 20 years. And today's trader has done even way better. Many people know her, and when I heard her story, trust me, it is so inspiring. Getting from zero and taking it on top is not easy. Welcome back to the Bulls Podcast. It is your host, Osman Lakan, and today I'm going to make sure that you guys today change your thinking and mentality about Forex trading. So you're welcome, one of the best female traders in East Africa. And guess what? When I was discussing with her before the video, she told me not East Africa. She's the best in Africa. And she goes to tell us why. So you're welcome at the Boost Podcast. You can say hi to the viewers.
So hey everyone, my name is Blessed Atuhere. I've been trading for 5 years and it was quite an experience. So I can gladly say that yes, I chose the right path within my 5 years of trading. I've had very amazing experiences. I've also had some challenges with trading, but it's not a reason why I can't trade. So I've been trading, I've been pushing, I've been learning how to better myself in this industry, and I'm actually glad that I took this path on. So since I've been trading for 5 years, I later on realized that I have so much to give to people, and I introduced an academy that is Forex, Blessed Forex. And I'm trying to help people who are struggling with Forex like I used to struggle, especially with psychology, strategies, putting everything together. So,
Okay.
yes.
That's a perfect one. So Blessed has been trading for the past 5 years, and she came up with an idea of helping other traders. And trust me, that is what we do. Like when someone comes out to help you, don't be like people, oh, we are here to help you be good traders. So today she's going to share her story. How did she be the type of trader she is? A lot of things to learn from her. Make sure you watch this video up to the end. Subscribe, comment, share it as much as possible because many people are going to learn from her story. So Blessed, back to you. I want to know, before Forex trading, who was you? What inspired you to come into trading? And then maybe we can kickstart from there.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. One thing I can say about myself, I've always been ambitious. So I used to do engineering. I'm a civil engineer. So yes, after studying, it was a bit hard looking for jobs, putting everything together. And I was hanging around some people and they were talking about Forex, Forex this, Forex that, but none of them knew exactly what they were doing. They just had information. And this just say you can make money in days, you can actually do this, you can change your life. And since I was struggling with jobs, I was like, let me give this a try. So given the fact that I was already ambitious, it's like I got the same energy and put it in learning Forex. And when I explain or when I tell you how I learned Forex, it's crazy. I used to have a very tiny phone.
Wait a minute before we go to that.
Yes.
So now you were an engineer, then after, school, you're like looking for a job and all that. So those people who taught you about Forex, were they traders or they were not traders?
They were also learning.
And they were making money?
Nope. None of them was actually making money.
So how did you believe in this business that it can actually give money?
So it was really, really crazy because I didn't get to see lifestyles of other traders on the internet, but just because someone tells you this can change your life, it's what I believed in. I didn't see them become rich. I didn't see them get better or change their lives, but believing that this thing can actually change someone's life, it's what actually made me join Forex. And given the fact that it's very easy to actually start and you can do it from anywhere, unlike I can do engineering, as I'm also doing this. So that's how I started.
Okay, so this is a very good mindset that I'm actually learning from you.
Yes.
I think it is not that for you to actually do something, like you need proof that someone else is doing it. As long as you feel it inside that it can actually work, you can actually go for it. Okay, now you pick the interest. Did you make a decision to stop engineering and you go straight to Forex, or you were doing them together?
No, I did both engineering and Forex for like 2 years. And then I had to,
To make a decision.
Like
Okay.
I had already learned Forex because I actually taught these things myself, most of them. So I had already learned Forex and I already knew everything about engineering. So I was at a job and I'm like, I really have to make a decision because something here needs more time.
Okay.
And I'm like, is it engineering? Is it Forex?
Forex, yeah.
I took Forex.
Okay, so tell us about your learning curve. Like when you get into the business, did you learn from YouTube? Did you read, many people come in and they get different sources of knowledge. How did you get to understand the business?
So one thing I can tell you is baby pips is it. Like everyone who is starting Forex, baby pips. I used to have a very tiny phone, like from here to here. But I put that PDF on that small phone, and it was just so easy to understand, so easy to put A, B, and C together. So it was very easy to start. Like, that's why I say Baby Pips is actually the book if you want to learn. So after learning Baby Pips, of course, I would hang around these guys and ask them, so guys, what is support and resistance? So they show me. What is a trend line? So they show me. How do I set stop losses? So I read everything. I go consult. What do they do? But none of them told me, go and read this. Go and read this.
Okay.
I used to read. I go and ask. So of course, after like 2-3 years of studying, like I've already been trading, things are already put together. One thing was missing, psychology. And I had to figure out.
Before we go to psychology, you know, it's actually interesting because when you look at your journey, most people start from Baby Pips and then they consult from different traders. And it is funny that you used to consult from people that actually not even making money.
Not even making money, but they just need a target. That's the beauty of Forex, that even if someone is non-profitable, they can teach you.
They can teach you, exactly.
Yes.
But now, can you make money? Is it about you as a person to be profitable, or even someone is teaching you has an impact on you to be profitable?
Even someone who is teaching you has an impact to be profitable. Why? Isn't because most of the times when someone is teaching you, they already understand how everything works, especially the concepts. Now, psychology is like the hardest bit because everyone can teach you the basics. But then giving you the psychology or making you understand that this is actually not a joke. You have to put in the work and understand your mindset. That's why the keeping is, because someone can just teach you how to sell, but how do you control your emotions?
Definitely. I think that is why most traders focus on psychology so much, because on the chart of Forex, we normally say it is 60% psychology. But before we go to psychology, I'm so interested in the learning part. Like, you know, many people come into Forex. I think, you know, statistically, 90% of traders give up on this business. You know, I would wonder, why would someone run away from making money? So let's take it back to the learning curve. Now, you're learning as you're consulting. You're learning as you're consulting. Now, did you feel like, how long did it take you to feel like I'm confident now enough to put someone and execute a trade?
I was confident after 3 weeks.
Are you
I
serious?
was serious on camera, but I was confident in 3 weeks. And
In 3 weeks?
guys, and
Wow.
when someone's brain is in survival mode, if someone's brain is in survival mode, there is a level of, I don't know how to explain it. So after learning, imagine that dedication I put in learning, support and resistance, trend lines, super basic stuff. After learning, I'm like, okay, risk management, stop losses. I'm like, okay, now I already have that. Let me place my first trade. And as I said, I started with VIX, volatility index.
Okay, it wasn't Forex.
Yeah, it wasn't Forex. So I started with volatility indices. So that day, I made my rent. I'm like, oh my God.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious. And actually sent some money home, and I'm like, God, I think we have a new skill. My first trade, and by the way, I didn't gamble, I didn't do anything. It was just following structure, get in, get out, because everyone used to tell me that it's really risky. So you have to be careful.
Okay, a quick question. How much was your first deposit?
About $70.
$70, and then you made how much?
I made 100, so to make it 170.
Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. Someone has been in the market for 3 weeks. They deposit $70 and then they make money. There's a saying that we normally tell people, you know, there's what we call beginner's luck. Do you think that was beginner's luck or it was skills that are making you money?
So I would say it's a little bit of both, because beginner's luck will come in even when you have like a good strategy and everything put together. But then it's not beginner's luck per se, because it's not...
You need something.
Yeah, it's not mental, because it stops being beginner's luck if you overthink it, if you over put a thought to whatever you are doing. So if someone tells you that in Forex trading, protect yourself, get in, get out, do this, it's like a logic thing. If you follow that, you become profitable. That's why everyone calls it beginner's luck, because everyone is actually everyone is getting into the market with just logic, not with emotion.
Absolutely.
So it becomes harder when you now mix in like emotion. So that's why I say it's beginner's luck, but just because people understand it as beginner.
Oh yeah, and I think maybe to mention even something a little bit about that, when we come into Forex, I think sometimes we don't play it too safe. It is after maybe some constant losses, and then you start playing it too safe, and you end up actually sometimes even losing big money. I remember when I was starting trading, exactly, like always your first deposit, you make money. If you deposit and you don't make money at the start, it's a very big problem. Because that is when you're so cautious about everything, you're actually following rules. I think also,
exactly. It's just following rules.
I think it's about also, maybe it gives you that confidence that now I think I know, yet in actual sense, you don't know. Then you start losing.
Trust me. Concepts are very easy to understand in Forex. You exactly know what to do. But the problem is when you try to overthink it, that's where like the problem comes in. Because like the way I said it earlier, like it's very easy to get these basics together, and it's just a logic thing. Get in, do this, do that, and get out. If someone follows that every single time, because we all know in Forex it's 70% win rate and 30% loss rate. If you actually follow that structure, you're able to hit the 70% lay rate. If you're not able to follow it and you include the mindset, you include the overthinking, that's why you go there.
That's where the problem comes in. So now let me take you now to you've understood, you've actually made some good money at your first deposit and all that. What was going through your mind? Now you're looking at engineering, you're working for 4 months, I don't know how much they are paying you, but now it is like you've made quick money. So what was going through your mind? Engineering and Forex trading, what was happening there?
So I actually thought I would do engineering, like I would focus on, becoming better, working in big companies and all that. But if you're just starting out, especially if you've done like a very strong course like medicine, engineering, you have big dreams. But then when you start working and realize that these guys actually devalue you, like they don't really give you exactly what you're worth, that's where like the disappointments start coming in. And as I was trading, I realized that there is something that actually gives me exactly what I'm looking for, even in this field. So that's when I made the decision. After like 2 years or 1.5 years, I was already contemplating, can I do this? Can I do that? But then when I realized that these people actually are not going to actually give me exactly what I'm looking for, that's when I actually gave Forex more time.
Okay, so the thing, when it comes to respect, one thing I believe in, actually, I think it is something that is actually happening, not these days, but from way behind. If you look at respect, people think when you're professional in something, that is when you get respect. But then I realized the only time they're going to respect you is when you have money. Do you believe in that?
100%.
Someone is not a professional in anything, and then is more respected than a doctor, than a pilot.
As long as you have money.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, that's another thing actually I had to talk about. Like, in this life, we are just here to thrive. Make money, be the best person you can ever be. So, if there is another way of making money, I'm not supposed to be rich.
Exactly.
And as long as I'm not taking people's money, as long as I'm not killing for money.
As long as you're legit.
For money, as long as I'm legit. There's another way to make money.
Definitely. So many people out there, pursuing their dreams. Someone wants to be a doctor, someone wants to be an engineer. But then you realize after the courses and everything, they're actually being paid like someone who did social science. I don't know the right thing to you.
I also don't know the term, but that is true.
Yeah, so back to your blessed. So now you make a decision, I'm going to stop engineering and I go full-time in Forex. How was that? Like, did you talk to your parents about it? Did you just take the step? When your parents knew about it, what was the reaction?
I didn't tell no one that I want to quit this. But I prepared my mom. Every time I would go back home, I have something, you can deposit this. So like, I'm like, no. Something like that, you understand? So I prepared her mentally that in 2021, like I would mention it slowly, like, actually in 2020, I'll be like, kanonaka is there, So she would still know that I'm doing engineering, but then she would have a concept that I'm doing something else. So when I actually chose that path fully, she didn't overflow.
It wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise because I always mentioned however much I knew it was going to be heartbreaking, but given the fact that I kept on talking about it over and over again, she later on understood that I do two things. I do engineering and Forex. And right now she knows that I'm actually a Forex trader.
Full time. How does she feel? Is it okay?
She's like, I trust your judgment. That's what she say. And I'm
Okay, now is she
so glad-
proud of you right now? Like,
Absolutely. I'm so glad that she was very understanding, given the fact that she raised me alone, she paid this tuition alone.
Okay.
And of course, after like 3 years of trading, I'm like, I can't hide this no more.
okay.
Yeah.
So were you giving her some money, blah blah, and all that?
I've always been supportive.
Yeah.
If a parent sees that you're actually bringing something to the table, sometimes they don't mind.
Absolutely.
That's actual fact.
Yeah.
Even if you did medicine, even if you did engineering, even if you are doing Forex, as long as it's changing someone's life, they'll respect what you're doing.
Definitely. I think it doesn't matter what you're doing. What matters is, are you putting something on the table? Because the family I come from, okay, there are some people who are educated, but now what matters the most is what do you put on the table? Even if you are a doctor and you don't put nothing on the table, it doesn't make sense.
When it comes to our older parents who have like those solid career and like engineering, lawyers, when you tell them something like that, even when you're bringing money to the table, they don't believe that you can make money online. They just don't believe.
Definitely.
Which is a bit hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have no reason explaining to someone who can't understand it.
You just have to do what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
So Bless now decides to go full-time in Forex. How did it feel like? Did you lose some money when you decided to go full-time and you felt like, I did a mistake, you know?
I actually made a decision even when I wasn't profitable. Like, because of course my first year, as I said, I was very profitable, but then in my second year, it was a bit slow.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I've already made money from this thing. I understand the concept. I have to just make a decision. Do I give it more time? Because if you're in the field, you realize that you don't have enough time to dedicate to the charts. You're going to miss trades. You're going to feel bad that you miss trades. You're going to make bad trading decisions. You're going to chase trades. So all that comes back to you and you're like, I have to actually make a decision. Do I do this? Do I do that? So yes, it was a bit too scary, even when I wasn't profitable at the time. But given the fact that I've already made some money,
Okay.
I just made the decision.
So the money you made before gave you some confidence that I will make the money again. Because, most people give up just because of losses. And I believe no one joins Forex and they just lose consistently. There is a day they win. Why do you think that most people cannot consider that day? Like, even if I'm losing currently, I'll win one day because I won one time. Is it about the mindset? What do you think is the problem?
I think everything is just tied to the mindset. Like, everything is tied to the mindset, because think about it. If you're able to do everything logically and you actually thrived, what makes you think you can't really do it again if you actually put the emotions out?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, and another thing, people are greedy. People want everything to work their own way. You understand? And the market is not like that. So that's another thing that people don't understand about the market. They want to make money, but they don't want to understand how the market works.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Exactly. So anyone out there, guys, listen to this, bless it. Your name is a little bit.
That's it.
Okay, has been trading for the past 5 years. For you to stay in the business, it's not all about I've lost money. If you had one winning day, it is enough for you to stay in the business, because all you need to find out is, what did I do right for me to win that day? And then you just do that again and again, and then you make money. So Blessed, now you're a full-time trader, right? How was it like? You making money? How was the journey now of a full-time trader?
I actually got to learn more. Like, at that time, remember, 2 years I'm already in, not so consistent. But then I got to learn even the smallest concepts that I needed to know. If it was about the trend line and like perfecting it, I'm giving it more time. I'm talking about trend lines more. Because at first, they used to make me money. And then after some time, I dropped them. And then I'm like, by the way, they used to make me money. What happened? I just came back to the same concept because it's the same concept I used to understand before.
Okay.
So anyway, I dedicated more time to Forex. I read more books about Forex. By then I used none to watch. By the way, my education wasn't more about YouTube. It was more about reading.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everything was about trading.
Wow.
And maybe if I'm hung around other traders and they explain a concept, like, I don't want to brag, but I think I'm a fast learner. So every time they would talk about something, even if it's a small pattern, because I remember some time back I was talking to some trader, they just talked about Aquasmodo one day. Until now, I know what Aquasmodo is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm hanging around traders and they talk about something. I'm like, okay, I learned that. I go back to the book, I read about it, it clicks. So that's how it was for me. I dedicated more time.
Okay.
And I got to learn how to manage my risk, how to put everything together. But then I had it mastered psychology. So,
Yeah, so as a full-time trader now, what was the biggest amount of money you made in a full month, like as a full-time
I
trader?
actually can't remember because I remember in like when my second year, I got some people who really trusted me with their money.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think when they see a female in Forex, they like, you know what, I think this person can do good. I actually was glad that I had left my job. So it's like they invested in me and I started making
They started making money.
I started seeing $1,000 a day. I was
Yo, yeah, that's
crazy.
really
I'm like,
interesting. Yeah.
what do you mean I'm having 5,000 as capital and I'm
Okay.
able to like even, it's not even just about risk management.
Yeah.
I used to be a swing trader. That's another thing. I hold a trade for 3 good days. Imagine holding GU for 100 pips. Like,
That's a good one.
if you have one lot, that is $1,000. If you have 0.1, that is $100. So you just have to learn how to manage your risk.
Okay.
So it was so interesting that when I quit Forex, and then I got people who trusted me, and
Okay.
we would actually make money from trading. So I reached a point where I would see even just $1,000 a day.
In a day.
In a day. Imagine if you're just alone, you have no kids, you're just trying to figure out life and you're seeing that a day. And I actually elevated when I found about prop funds.
And then you were inside. Yeah, we are going to discuss prop funds. So that is really, really interesting. I think that takes me to something I normally tell traders, like when it comes to Forex, capital is never a problem. What would you say about that?
Yeah, so capital is not a problem sometimes, though you need it. Yeah? In one way or the other, you need it. Why? It's because it's no longer a thing to trade for people. Back then, it was a thing. Right now, it's no longer a thing. Someone comes to me and like, trade for me. I'm like, nah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very important to have your own capital. And this is why I don't want to advise people to leave their jobs. Guys, don't leave your jobs. First, make that capital.
Okay.
Have that capital pile up and then trade it. Or first be profitable before you even leave your jobs. Because trust me, trading for someone, it gives you another level of thinking. It's like you're thinking about another person.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose this person's money. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. That is not really a good mindset to be with.
Okay.
Understand? So, first, have your own capital. And if the capital is not really there, try prop funds.
Okay.
But they require discipline.
Oh, yeah. We are going to discuss prop funds. So skill and capital, I think skill should come first and then capital comes next. If she didn't have the knowledge to do what it's supposed to do, maybe people wouldn't have even invested with you. Because I believe someone to come to you, all they need to see is some little bit of a change around you. Because many people put, their inconsistency, their unprofitability on capital. Someone says, it is because I'm trading $50, that is why I'm not profitable. Because I'm trading $30, that's why I'm not profitable. But I tell them, investors are around. People are there, by the way, to give out capital. But the problem is, you've not shown them that you can make money from the business. I have a question for you, a very interesting one. According to your experience, what do you think is a misconception or something that traders misunderstand, beginners actually misunderstand when they're joining Forex?
So when beginners are joining Forex, the problem is they think it's just a matter of making money.
Okay.
And that's not the fact about Forex. It's easy to understand, easy to make money, but then being consistent is where the problem is. So people join Forex just to make money, but then that's when they realize that it's actually not just about money.
Okay.
It's about understanding yourself.
Oh, wow. So it's more...
So that's the misconception.
Okay.
You join this because of a different reason, making money, but then later on, 2 years in, realize that actually it's no longer about the money. It's very easy to make the money, but keeping that money, because you can even make 10 millions, put it back on the market. It's already
gone. Wow.
Yet it's easy to make it, but then easy to lose it as well. So that's what the problem is.
So the biggest problem is they come with a mindset of money, but not understanding the business that they have actually come into.
And that's why I would say that even before you start Forex, I know no one is going to talk about psychology right there and then when you're doing research, but I wish someone can first know that psychology is like the hardest part, even for studying Forex. But no one ever gets to know that.
Wow.
They only focus on the basics, understanding structure, putting everything together, and then the mindset clicks later. It is supposed to be talked about in the beginning, even before when someone is just talking to me. Always remind them that.
Okay.
Just as a simple statement so they can know it.
I think it's actually something to mentors out there. When someone comes to you, don't just focus so much on technicals, but let them move together. Psychology and then technicals.
Now, this is another thing. Like us as traders, most of the times you're not going to say the mistakes you've done to people. And you're not going to tell them the mental hardships you've gone through.
Okay.
But as a mentor, you have to make it clear that yes, the money can be made, but you have to figure out the psychology as well.
Okay.
Because everyone is struggling with that.
Okay. Another quick question before we actually go to something else. I've made a lot of videos, by the way, on social media, and there is a very common question I've seen in these videos. What do you say about mentorship? Do you think it's okay for us to mentor people out there? Because most people think like traders make money from mentorship. What is your say about that?
So, my say about that, go look for someone to teach you. Like, it's as simple as, like, I don't even have any advice that go teach yourself. Yes, you can do that because I did it. But is it worth it? No, it's not.
It took you a long time.
It took me a longer time. Like, I remember first time when I was trying to put my strategy together, it took me 6 months of watching something over and over
and losing money.
And someone is not telling me how to do it.
Definitely.
I have to figure out how to do it. And that's the challenge. But if you have someone to guide you, because come on, we all are in this business to make money. What if there is a shorter cut to understand everything and make the money? What is easier?
What is a problem?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yes, you want to save that money, but I would advise.
And the funny part is you blow it anyway.
We blow it. So I would advise. It took me 2.5 years to understand everything. As I said, I used to read this thing for 6 months. I'd already put it together.
Yeah.
But I hadn't even watched videos to know exactly how everything works. But if I had someone to literally guide me, someone who was a pro, guide me every step of the way.
Yeah.
This and this and this and that. What took me 6 months, it could have taken me 3 months.
Definitely.
You understand?
Yeah.
So after starting mentorship, I realized that it's even possible to teach them basics in 1.5 months for someone to even
By the way.
them. Just basics. 1 month, putting the strategy together. Those are 2.5 months, right?
Exactly.
And then the rest of the months, let's work on psychology. So it's very possible for someone to learn Forex, everything about Forex, 6 months. Though, of course, being consistent is what the challenge is.
Exactly.
But it's very possible to put everything together.
Okay.
6 months, which took me 2.5 years, by the way.
Yeah, some people, they are still struggling even after 4 years. You know, that is a very common question. I think you've actually made it clear. Mentorship is there to help you as a struggling trader. But I think we believe even in other businesses, like people mentor even in other businesses. Why is it that other people is not a scam, but in trading is a scam?
Let's actually put a pause on that. Like, it's really crazy how people are willing to pay mentorship, even for the smallest thing. Someone wants to learn how to do makeup in their own house.
Definitely.
They really pay a cost for that. Someone wants to just learn how to do that DIY nails. They go for that simple mentorship. But then someone learns about Forex just because the information is on internet. They think they don't need
mentorship is not okay.
Yet they can pay for even the silliest things to learn.
Trust me. Yeah.
Of course, other carriers, they also pay extra for that. But then Forex, they attach it to you are scamming people.
Exactly. So now this is a question to us who are trying to help people. What do you think we should do? Because many people have that mindset. When it comes to Forex, they're not willing to follow the principles, the values of businesses. But when it comes to other business, they actually do. Do you know that when someone starts a business, they can accept working every day for 1 full year, not expecting a return? But when it comes to Forex, that is not the mindset they have. What do you think we should do as people who are trying to help other people so that we can actually help them change how they think?
So first of all, it's good to preach, but then if the person you're preaching to is not ready to change, you are wasting your time.
Definitely.
That's one thing you should know.
Yeah.
So the people who want to listen will listen. So your job, preach what you're supposed to preach. say what you're supposed to say, and let the people who actually value that information be the one to come to you. But you're not going to criticize someone who is to actually change their mind, because even with the people who approach me, they want to learn Forex. I really want to teach people for free, and I've done that a couple of times. I have a lot of people that I've taught for free, even my family members, because come on, I know the thing that makes money. You think I don't want my family members to
be rich? Yeah.
Yes, but even the family members that I introduced to Forex, none of them took it seriously because it was free information. And I reached a point, I put a stop on it. I'm like, even if it's $10, you know how you pay $1 to a lawyer to actually be a lawyer? So I'm like, even if it's $10, pay something for it to attach value to it.
Exactly.
I remember I have a very good student. This person is like, we have a very good bond with this person. This guy approached me and he's like, I really don't have a coin, but I want to learn. I just told the guy, wow, look for $30. Like, I saw the pain in his eyes. I'm like, okay, look for the $30. Trust me, that's like one of my best students of all time.
Wow.
Like, this person still reaches out to me, mentor, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So even that smallest amount to make that person attach value to whatever they are learning. But when you try to offer this thing for free, and that's what everyone is trying to do, which is very okay. When you try to offer this thing for free, people will not attach value to. That's why people no longer go to churches, because everything is out there. I'm sorry to put it out, but that's...
Yeah, but that is the reality. And remember, here at the podcast, we're supposed to talk reality. I think also when you try to look through it, that is why when you look at the world's population, we are almost like 8.4 billion. But when you look at the rich people, it's just 1%. So why is it that the 1% is rich and the 99% is not rich? I think not everyone is meant for something, because there are certain people who will actually hear something and they just take it as a joke. I think that is why I don't know so much about the Bible, but I think that is why even this guy who built the ark, he was telling them to come into the ark, and the guys were refusing, and eventually many of them died.
Where am I coming to the ark anyway?
Exactly.
I don't know why.
So I think anyone there who's trying to ditch, you try to bullshit, when you're trying to talk bad about mentorship, you're not meant for this. You're not meant for growth. You're not meant to be rich. But we believe it is something that helps so much.
And every trader knows this. Like, there is no day in my entire existence of after learning Forex have I ever looked at a mentor in a way or any way differently, say, no, that is actually a scam. No, because I know it's important. Forex trading is important. Passing on that information from this person to that person. Every person needs it. So if someone actually thinks that mentorship is a scam or something like that, you just don't understand the business. Actually, you are not a trader. That's why you're saying that. But every trader out there can't say that mentorship is a scam. We all know Forex is actually really hard to put together.
Exactly.
Some people get it on the go, but other people just don't.
Yeah, actually, I call those people as scammers. How can you come into a business you cannot invest into? It doesn't make sense.
That's another thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So let me ask another question. How long do you think, according to the time you've been mentoring, how long do you think it takes someone to be profitable under mentorship, and the fact that you've also self-taught, how long do you think it will take someone to be profitable when they are self-taught?
Okay, so first of all, you talked about beginner's luck. I agree with you to a certain extent, but to a certain extent I don't. Because by the time this person is placing a trade, it's because they're entering for a reason.
Exactly.
Why are you getting in? Why are you getting out? So by 6 months, someone knows, why am I getting in? Why am I getting out? By 6 months, someone knows where to put their stop loss, where to put their TP. By 6 months, everyone knows all those things. So that's why I say in 6 months, it's possible for someone to be profitable.
Definitely.
Because they know what to do.
Exactly.
They know when to get in, when to get out. Why am I doing this? And that's what Forex is all about. So it's very possible for someone to be profitable in even less than 6 months.
Is that under mentorship or without? Under mentorship. What about without mentorship?
Without. I got lucky. Not everyone gets lucky. I got lucky. That's why I was so profitable in my 4th, 5th month. So I got really lucky because I was so hard on. I read
yourself.
Everything. Like, I literally read the candlestick Bible immediately after Betty Pips. It's like I'm just trying to put everything together. So it's very possible to also be profitable when you are not being taught by someone. But some people just don't get the concept.
Needs a lot of energy.
People don't get those concepts. Like someone will read support and resistance, and trust me, they will not understand it even after 6 months.
Definitely, even after a year.
Even after a year. But then when they get a touch of someone, that's when it kicks to them. So some people can be profitable, some people cannot.
Okay, so what matters the most is the energy you put in. It is all about you as a trader. Are you putting in enough hours?
You want it.
You have to want it.
Okay. Especially when you're teaching yourself. And I've actually, I've taught some people who have just been doing research for 1 month. And every time they join the class, they say, yes, I understand.
It's clicking.
Yes, it's clicking.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's clicking because, they put in the work already. Exactly. It started.
Exactly.
But then if you just join this, I want to learn Forex, but don't even do research, you just wait for the information I gave you, you're not going to be the same as the person who
Perfect. So let me ask this question also. For the time you've been trading, what is the biggest mistake you've ever made and you don't want anyone out there to make it?
My mistakes are all related to psychology.
Psychology.
I think that's the biggest mistake with everyone. And maybe another thing is, now my psychology is different. My psychology is not over trading. My psychology is not using stop losses. My psychology is closing profits. That's where I get I have a hard time closing profit.
Wow.
Yes.
So is it greed?
Of course it should be great. If I can't close my profit, then after the trade coming back, I'm like, what?
I saw big money.
I saw big money.
Okay.
That's my biggest challenge, and I'm actually worked on it by, setting my stop loss. Given the fact that I was a swing trader, when I got into the intraday, because sometimes when you have a community, you have to become an intraday trader.
Yeah.
You understand?
You have to feed them.
Even the fact that I was a swing trader, when you're a swing trader, you just analyze on H1 and wait for market, give you the move you're looking for. But then when you come to intraday trading, a market is going to give you a very nice setup, but because it's on a smaller time frame, you are not going to value that money. You understand? Because you're used to big money or big zaps, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's what the challenge is, and it's very easy to put together.
Okay, so what would you tell a struggling trader who is failing to close profits? Because trust me, it happens to every trader. You take a trade, you see a profit of $500, but then you're expecting 1,000, and then market reverses. What should they do so that they can be in position of closing their profit?
Your first statement, I would say, any profit is better than zero. Even if it's $5, it's better than zero. And every zero is greater than a negative. So you'd rather have your stop losses set to break even, and then you move on.
What about men? Men should also still set stop.
The market doesn't know who is a man.
Absolutely. Okay.
So that's the fact. Okay. So, as a man, stop losses.
Protect your cat.
Protect your customer, because this psychology game is even worse for men, by the way.
Yeah,
because
sure.
There are so many minded that when they lose money, it's crazy. They literally go crazy, want money. So if you are struggling with closing profits, at least if a trade gives you more than 40 pips a day, a market moving 40 pips a day, that is 1%.
That's enough.
Movement in the whole entire market. Yeah. So that is enough for a day.
Yes, sir.
If that means if you're collecting 40 pips every single day from one trade, in a week, how many pips are you having?
200 pips.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Very easy one. So if you're intraday trading, your targets should be really small. 40 pips, 50 pips, get out.
Okay.
If you are a swing trader, 100 pips, 60 pips, get out.
Exactly.
So, and when a trade gives you 40 keys, set your stop losses to break even. Yeah, set your stop losses to break even, and let the market stop you out with a zero, then actually see a negative, because it's more traumatizing after seeing profits. And of course, when you trade in gold, please understand your stop losses.
Yeah.
Because the stop losses, of course, 40 pips doesn't work on gold. You have to target 400 pips on gold for you to be able to close out something serious. So when you are setting your stop loss for 400 pips, and your TP for 400 pips, let your stop losses at least be 200 pips.
200.
Let it
1
be
to 2.
enough for the market to first come retrace and then go your way, because most of the times, gold, it first comes, takes out people, and then it goes your way.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
Oh yeah, actually tell people a lot. Like when you're setting a stop loss, make sure you leave breathing space, because there is what we call liquidity in the market.
Exactly. So some people put their stop losses immediately where they see like a point of interest or a reversal point.
Yeah.
And the market is going to come and take you out.
Exactly.
Please put it a little bit lower. So sometimes it's so challenging to manage your risk and also set stop losses. If your stop loss is going to be big, reduce your risk. You understand?
Yeah.
If your stop loss is going to be big, reduce your risk and now leave the market to give you that breathing. Allow the market to have a breathing space. And then
that is actually interesting. Maybe something I've noted from Blessed's story about closing profits. If you're rating your success or if you're rating your growth, don't rate it on numbers, because someone using a 0.01, market is going to move 100 pips, or they're just seeing $10. So sometimes they might not even close the $10. But if you see the market in pips, not in profit, that will actually be better. Yeah, because 40 pips is good money. Very good money.
Like all the currency pairs apart from commodities.
Yeah.
That is good money.
Very good money. But now, just because you're using a small lot size, it is the reason why you're seeing small profits. But for the market, it has moved a very good movement. That's a very interesting one. Let me hope you guys are actually picking something from it. So back to you, according to your experience, the reason for you sitting here is I want people to relate to your experience so that they can learn from you. Now, for the time you've been trading, what would you emphasize the most? Risk management, psychology, and technicals?
Everything has to come together.
Definitely.
You can't just leave out one part. Like even if you have like the best psychology, if you have the good psychology, you can thrive, but then you will need a strategy.
Exactly.
To have that psychology work. But then even if you have very good psychology, if you don't know how to manage your risk, you will
definitely problem.
Because you can have good psychology, you close exactly when you're supposed to close. And all that, but if you have a small capital, you're not managing your risk well, you're going to be out of the market, and psychology is going to come hunting you. Yeah. So you have to put everything
together.
But there are steps of understanding everything. Start with psychology. Start with strategy, risk management, and psychology. Actually, strategy and risk management move together. And then after that, psychology comes last.
Psychology comes last. So make sure you guys have noted that. I've seen a lot of traders but if you go to YouTube and you try to type in a question, they bring a lot of suggestions. But when you look at the suggestions, few people ask about psychology. Many people are, researching about risk management and strategy. And I think it could also be one of the reasons why people are not profitable.
Yes, that is true, because people are more focused on making the money and
not understanding
themselves. And making the money is tied to strategy.
Exactly.
Learning when to get in, when to get out, where is the market going. That's what people are focused on. Yet, you have to know when to get in, when to get out, but you also have to know what do I do if the market does this.
Exactly.
You have to think fast. Someone will just have a setup laid out. But remember, all that you are seeing, the buyers and the sellers, that is people reacting to the market, right?
Yeah.
And you can't control someone's reaction.
Exactly.
So the market is going to give you a clear setup, but then you're going to be the one who is seeing the reactions of these people. So if you're able to read people's reaction in the market, you're also going to react to the market.
Absolutely.
So you get out. That means you're using psychology, not the strategy.
Absolutely.
Because you're able to read
what is going on.
Reactions is price tapping, price tapping on a certain level. Then is that, yes, your target can be 400 pips, but then you have a minor level. The market can follow the smallest level.
Details.
It's details, you understand? So you can have your TP at 400 or 40 pips, and the market gives you 20 pips, but then it's reacting on a certain
level.
That is psychology telling you that, yes, you are looking for this, the market is doing this.
Wow. Yeah. That is so interesting. It is something I normally tell traders, you understanding the behavior of what is going in the market is actually more important than a strategy.
That is strategy.
Yeah,
because you're literally reading what people feel.
Definitely. You're going to ignore something, it looks minor, you can see it as a doji, but then it communicates a lot.
It's just people not deciding.
Definitely.
Buyers and sellers are not.
Yeah.
So they're going to
That is
What the
really,
market
really
needs to
nice.
see.
Yeah.
You just have to understand how are people reacting, because whatever you're seeing in the market, those are emotions of people in the market.
Exactly.
And that's why it's so important to understand psychology. I had to read these books for me to understand.
Okay.
That's how people are reacting in the market. And from those people, there are people who have fear, and that's what you're seeing. Markets
Exactly.
Yeah, people who are actually aggressive. That's why you're seeing markets shooting up.
Exactly.
That's how I look at it.
Definitely. So another question here comes in. A lot of people have analysis paralysis, like someone wakes up in the morning, analyzes a chart, but when it comes to pressing that button, they are scared. What advice would you tell them, and what do you think is the problem?
First of all, know why you're scared. When you are beginning, you're not scared.
Okay.
You actually
Have
you
the energy,
have
yeah.
the energy.
Yeah.
But then when you start getting scared, this is when you need to look into why you are getting scared. Because you are getting scared because of the mistakes you've been doing.
Absolutely.
Over trading, revenge trading, risk management, all those things put together. Even when you have a strategy, when you make the money, you are confident. When you lose the money consistently,
You lose the confidence.
you lose the confidence. So you will find someone who is a very good analyst, but then
Execution is a problem.
execution is the problem. And those people are actually very good at teaching, but then execution is the problem, because now they have to work on their psychology, fix it, get out of that fear, so they can start placing those trades again.
Exactly.
And now where the problem comes in from, now they can get past that fear, they start placing trades again.
And they get too
right?
confident.
They get too confident, they come.
Exactly.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah. So what advice would you tell them?
Go read psychology books.
They should understand psychology.
Understand psychology. And by the way, just because I'm talking to you about psychology doesn't mean you're going to get it. You have to
Definitely.
put in the work to go
Yeah.
get that information.
It is more than just listening.
More than just listening. And then you have to practice. You have to be a practitioner. Like, meditate.
As a
If you don't meditate, pray. Like, prayer works for a lot of people. Pray. Go to just do something that is meant to get you to think and understand yourself first. And after that, include more information. Understand more about psychology and how the mind works, because psychology is the mind.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
Understand how your mind works. How do you react? How do you behave? How have you been conditioned? And that's why prayer, meditation, plus the books, they give you the answer to what you're looking for.
Okay.
And then when you put in the strategy together, that's when everything comes together.
Yeah, so identity is key. Understanding yourself as a trader.
Very key.
Very, very important. Okay, that's a very, very, very good one. So now, which instruments do you trade, you as you? Do you trade everything, or you have specific ones that you look at?
But there are some pairs that don't even know. Like AUD, JPY.
You've never traded that?
I've never NZD something. I've never traded some of those things.
Okay.
I only trade GU, gold. I look at EU as well. Trade BTC. I look at oil. I look at US 30.
Okay.
But I don't trade everything. I just trade three. BTC, gold, GU.
What would you tell someone who tries to focus on so many instruments according to your experiences? For you, you're focusing on a few.
If you're
There's something hidden.
If you're a teacher teaching a certain school, would you teach all the subjects?
No, it's not possible.
That's the answer.
Okay.
You can't really watch the market. Yes, you can find all those opportunities, but then if you try to focus on everything, you're not going to understand exactly how structural.
Definitely, yeah.
Because now the market is built in a different way. It's built on history, price repeating itself, price respecting something. You have to do top-down analysis, come down on M15, understand how the bigger structure is playing out.
Yeah.
When do I get in because of the bigger structure? If you're literally monitoring
so many
pairs,
you might fail.
how are you going to do top-down analysis on everything?
Definitely.
So it's really possible.
Yeah, I think it's not advisable to watch so many things, because focus, for you to be consistently disciplined, focus is key. Once you focus on a few things, I think it's very easy to be disciplined in them and then understanding there. So now, there's a very, there's so many myths in trading. What is that myth that you realized after joining Forex that at the start, it was actually a lie?
I have, as I said, with the way I joined Forex, honestly, I didn't have too much outside noise. Okay, apart from you're going to make money or you're going to lose money. So I didn't have a lot of noise That's why I also did not watch a lot of videos for me to get confused. Good enough, I actually did not watch them. So I don't really have a lot of
Okay, a lot of things around it.
things around it. I see it as a business, something that can make you money. But the same way you can go to a doctor who went to school to they didn't have any myths about being a doctor. They just went for it. But I don't really have anything to say about Forex from the past. Like everything I've had is true apart from psychology.
So at the start, you've mentioned that you're now a mentor. What pushed you to be a mentor?
After putting everything together for 2.5 years, I realized that it's not worth it for someone to invest that much time.
Okay.
In 2.5 years or even 3 years.
That's a long way.
Time. What Forex is all about, for them to even put psychology together, for them to even put a strategy together. So, and then when I used to teach before, as I said, I used to teach on a small scale, my family members, my friends, my other people who would be interested. So when I realized that I can teach Forex in less than 2 months, 3 months, and everything is done, now we just have to practice.
Okay.
So I realized that it's actually good for me to be able to also help other people out there who are interested in learning and they really don't want to waste a lot of time in the university in learning by themselves.
So mentorship is specifically making people's journeys short so that they don't
make people's journeys short and clarity and accountability.
Clarity and then accountability.
Because when you have someone to run back to every time you make a mistake, you have someone to answer to. It's very easy for you to actually follow the rules because you know my mentor is going to be like, why did you attend this class?
Exactly.
Where are your chats? Where are you this? So you're going to be compelled to do what the mentor is telling you. And then clarity. It's like these people have already been through it. They have the roadmap. They have a map of everything.
Clear.
So it's clear. They know what they are supposed to teach you. I have my own courses. Like I wrote down these things myself. I had to break down and I see what is important. When you're reading Baby Pips, read everything. None of my students have gone through Baby Pips. I can put everything together because I know what is required for you to be a profitable trader.
Now, this is a technical question here. I want to ask it to you because many people are struggling with it. According to your experience and at the time you give the market, higher time frames and lower time frames, which one do you think weighs more than the other?
So, it's I wouldn't say which one weighs more than the other because it depends on the type of a trader. Some people are scalpers, some people are intermediates or intraday traders, and then some people are swingers. But you understand the level of trader or the type of trader you are, it's easier for you to know where you lie. You understand? So if you're a swing trader, look at H4, daily, and H1. If you're an intraday trader, look at H4, H1, M15.
Okay.
M15 is for entries.
Entries, okay.
H1 and H4, understanding how the overall structure is. If you're a scalper, understand that you're supposed to watch H1, M15, M5. When do I get in? When do I get out? Smaller time frames are for entries. Higher time frames gives the overall picture.
Perfect. So it's not about like someone is using higher time frames or whatever. It's about the type of trader that you are.
I used not to think scalpers can be profitable, but it's very possible because the same way structure forms on a higher time frame. It's the same way structure forms. It's the pin and bar on a 1 minute. It's the same where the pin and bar is going to form on a daily time frame. So it's really not about that, you're a scalper, or you're this, or you enter an M15.
Okay.
Just understand the type of trader you are.
So do you believe there are days that someone is not supposed to take a trade?
Yes, absolutely.
What could be the reason behind that?
If the structure is not telling you what you're supposed to do, because the key point is a point to getting. Is the market showing you when to get in?
When to enter a trade.
Yes, you are not seeing when to get in and when to get out, because you see, if you get in, you have to know when to get out. If you're not seeing when to get in, when to get out, the market
don't need to take a trade.
Yeah, you don't need to take it. You don't need to take a trade.
Yeah, that is
also understand where the market is going, because it's very important. The higher time frame is going to show you where the market is going. Like that's why it's so important. So when you understand when to get in, when to get out, and where is the market going, that's when you can take that trade. If you don't
see that, so many people think like when it comes to Forex, you're going to be trading every now and then, take a trade, get out, take a trade, get out. But
at least if you're a scalper, because scalping can give you all those setups. You can easily get to see what is H1 doing and where is it heading. If you're a scalper, yes, you can. Sometimes on M15, you might not see the setup.
Okay.
An H1 person, I believe they don't even see setups for 3 days.
For 3 days, definitely.
Which is very okay, because that's the type of trader you are.
Exactly. So now, according to your experience, the time you've been trading, what is the biggest amount of money you've made in trading?
That is from a prop farm. Oh,
In a day? In a day?
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've made 5,000 in a day.
In a day? Wow.
From, like, yes, and that's back then when my Forex funds.
Okay. And
I've actually struggled with Forex. Like, I've worked with a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay.
So I remember, like, I placed this GU trade and I was super confident. Actually, no, it was GU and KJPY because I used to trade KJPY a lot. And it used to trend very well.
Wow.
Yes.
So you've made 5K in a day. Just
K,
guys, think about 5K in a day. I think that is very, very good money. So you've mentioned prop firms. What do you say about prop firms? Are they very good investments to traders?
Yes.
And when do you think someone should go for prop funds?
Yes and no. So prop funds are very easy and they're very cheap to buy and all that. But if you haven't mastered your skill, it's very hard for you to trade these prop firms because these things require discipline. These things require, like, you just have 10% to play with overall. So that means you have to literally risk 0.1% for you to be able to thrive in prop firms, okay? So you have to have the skill before you even start prop firms. And then you have to be disciplined. Yeah. So it's very okay to trade prop firms, but then it's like skill first. If you aren't skilled, go buy your account. Because you actually feel more pain. You know, when someone buys 100K of something, they already picture how they are going to change their life.
The
Lamborghinis and all that. They already have that picture in their head. But are you actually going to really do it because you have a skill or not?
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't have it, you're still going to come back the next time.
Definitely. Yeah. Because me, I normally tell people, before you go for prop firm, first ask yourself, can you grow a small account? Because there is nothing that is going to change. It is not that when you access a prop firm, the skill change.
So it's so easy for me to trade prop firms. It's because I'm a swing trader.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I know, like, even if I risk 1% or GU, and I've looked at it on 1 hour, I need to hold it for like 3 days for me to get 100 pips. That is already 1% or 2% of the account. So, like, if you're a swing trader, it's kind of possible, but, like, you know, it just still needs a skill for you to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that is really, really interesting. I just can't stop talking to the best female trader in East Africa or even in Africa. You know, her story is really interesting, and it's possible because everyone goes through certain things. We all go through certain things. But now if I see her doing it, she has done it and she's helping other people do it, then it's possible, bro. It is very, very possible for you to do it. So back to you. Any final remarks to a struggling trader and then to also someone who wants to come into Forex? What would you tell them?
Yeah, so for anyone who is struggling with Forex, the first thing you need to ask yourself, how can I go about this the shortest way? Not just making money, but learning the skill, okay? Where do I start from? First of all, do research. Okay. Understand what this is all about. Even as someone who has already started Forex and all that, understand, what do I need from this? After understanding what do you need from this, and then how do I start it? How do I go about it? If it's really, really something you want to do, go look for someone to guide you, and not just anyone. No, people know Forex. People are well versed in everything to do with Forex. Yeah. Go look for that person to guide you. And then when you are done with that, then practice. Like, put in the work.
The individual effort.
Understand how all this plays out. And if you're just starting out and you just don't know what Forex is all about, still do research and get someone to guide you. Like, that is the shortest way. Though people want the longer way of
first testing the waters. Yeah.
What? Deposit money, let me try, it fails, let me look for the mentor.
I've seen someone who just came into mentorship for a week and he bought a 100K account. Someone does not even know how to calculate FIPS. He's buying a prop fund.
I have a student who doesn't even know what Forex is, but that person already has an account with Xness. So, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's funny, like, people just focus, they don't focus on what brings money, they focus on the money.
You know, I didn't open a trading account until like 3 months of learning or reading books. Because I remember I didn't know what MT for. Okay, I had seen these guys play on there, but I hadn't even downloaded.
Oh, okay.
So as for me to even just start,
Okay.
I had to first
Wait, yeah,
and then
understand and make money. Perfect. So it is really interesting when it comes to trading. You're going to realize that many people emphasize learning. When you look at the top traders that you really admire, all of them are talking about learning, understand the skill. So there's a reason why they're emphasizing it. Remember, experience is really important when it comes to trading. And at the same time, I want you to understand that if it took Blessed 2 years or 3 years, it is not going to take the same time once you learn from her or once you learn from anyone. What matters the most is understanding the real formula of how things are done. I've seen a lot of traders saying like someone cannot be profitable in 5 years. Guy, someone is going to come and outperform you. I know there are traders out there who have been in the market for 5 years and you're not profitable. I want you to think about why did she do it? And yet for you, you're still struggling. And the reason is because you don't want to accept that you need help. Let us not just be there, comforting ourselves, putting our failures on other people, like someone cannot do something. Let me just give you a quick one. We all know Apple. Apple was started in 1926. And we all know NVIDIA. NVIDIA was started in 1993. There's a space of almost 20 years. But now the most valuable company in all companies is NVIDIA. So someone could be like, Apple would have been the best one, right? But then you just have to understand what you're supposed to do. And you're going to outperform many people. So it has been a pleasure having you on the Boss podcast. She's a mentor. Maybe you can tell people where to find you and how they can access you.
Yeah, so once again, I'm Blessed, and I run a Telegram channel and other social media platforms under Blessed Forex. So if you're interested in learning more about Forex trading, understanding your psychology, understanding strategies, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is coming up as Blessed Forex. I know I have a lot of impersonators, but my accounts are like literally the most followed. If you find something most followed as Blessed Forex or at Harry Blessed, that is me. And my Telegram channel is just Blessed Forex. If you're interested in learning more, of course, just tap the links in my descriptions on my social media platforms.
Perfect. So that has been, the name is really complicated a little bit. There's a way you're supposed to pronounce it. But me, I call her the best trader in East Africa, a female trader. She's a very good one, and she has emphasized psychology and learning. There is a reason why we talk about so much. Make sure you subscribe on the channel, like, comment, so that you guys, we can know what are you really struggling with, so that we can talk about. One word from her can change how you think, and that is going to help you be a very good trader. It has been your host, Osman Lakan. See you on the next episode.